Hello everyone, I am King Savarna and welcome to my Hidden SPN channel. The place where we don't just study harder, we learn how to study smarter. Now, before we begin, I want to give you a challenge. Stay with me for the next 7 minutes, don't skip the video and don't fast forward the video. Just watch until the end because if you do, I am giving you 100% that I will make you a topper in chemistry. Now let's move towards to make you king in chemistry. Imagine this, tomorrow is your chemistry exam. You wake up feeling confident because yesterday you studied for 6 hours, you revised every chapter, you highlighted every important lines and you even memorized every reaction you thought could appear in exam. But the moment you sit in the exam hall, the first question appears and suddenly your mind goes blank. You know you have seen the answer before and you know you have read this concept but you just can't remember. Now let me ask you something. Was the problem your memory or were you studying in a way that never give your brain a chance to remember in the first place? Because the truth is most of the students don't fail in chemistry because of its difficulty. They struggle because no one ever teaches them how to learn chemistry. And today we are going to change that. Now we move towards the chapter 1. The biggest lie we have all believed. Since childhood we have been told one thing. Read it again and again, you will remember it. Sound reasonable, doesn't it? So whenever exam comes closer, students read the same chapter again and again, hoping that one more reading will magically make everything stick. But let me ask you a question, if rereading really worked, why do so many students forget an entire chapter just a few days later? The answer is simple. Because your brain does not remember information just because your eyes looked at it. Your brain remembers information that it understood and connects and uses. Think about your favorite movie. You have probably watched it only once or twice. Yet you can remember scenes, dialogues, even small details. Why? Because while watching it, your brain was actively making connection. Now compare that with chemistry. You may read the same page 5 times, but if your brain never truly processes it, it disappears. So, maybe the problem is not your memory. Maybe you have simply been studying in the wrong way. Now, let's move towards the chapter 2 or step 2. One subject, 3 different games. Now, tell me something, if I asked you to prepare for a marathon, a swimming competition, or a chess tournament, would you use the same strategy for all 3? Obviously not, because every game demands a different skill. Then why do we make this mistake with chemistry? Most students open their chemistry book and study physical chemistry, organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry in exactly the same way. They read, highlight, memorize, repeat, but chemistry is not one game. It's 3 completely different games and each one has its own rules. Now move with the chapter 3, physical chemistry. When students begin physical chemistry, the first thing they do is search for a formula sheet. They think, if I memorize every formula, I will solve every numericals. But let me ask you something. If memorizing formulas were enough, then why do students forget which formula to use during exams? The answer is simple. Because formulas don't solve questions, understanding does. Whenever you learn a new formula, don't rush to memorize it. Instead, pause for a minute and ask yourself 4 questions. What does each symbol actually represent? Why does this formula work? What happens if one quantity increase or decrease? In which type of question should I use it? The moment you answer this question, the formula stops looking like random letters. It starts telling a story. Now solve question not because practice makes perfect, but because practice reveals what you still don't understand. Every mistake is like a teacher pointing at your weakest concept. Don't ignore it, study it. Because every mistake you understand today is one less mistake you will make in the exam. But here is something surprising. The exact method that works beautifully in physical chemistry can actually slow you down in the organic chemistry. Now move with the chapter 4, organic chemistry. Let me ask you a question. How many reactions have you tried to memorize, only to forget them a few days later? That is because you are trying to memorize the ending without understanding the beginning. Think of organic chemistry like watching a movie. Imagine watching only the last 5 minutes. Would the ending make sense? Of course not. You need the full story. Organic chemistry works exactly the same way. Every reaction happens because something forces it to happen. Electron moves, old bond break, new bond form. Once you understand why these changes happen, dozens of reactions suddenly become much easier to remember. Instead of memorizing 50 separate reactions, you begin recognizing patterns. And once your brain starts recognizing patterns, learning becomes much faster than memorization. Now let's move to the chapter number 5, that is Inorganic Chemistry. This chapter students usually call the memorizing chapter in the chemistry. Let's be honest. Most students study inorganic chemistry like this. Read one page, turn the page, read another, finish the chapter, and then feel happy because the chapter is completed. But there is a question. If I asked you right now to explain what you just read, would you? For many students the answer is no. And that is the because reading creates familiarity, not memory. So here is a simple technique. Read only one small section, then immediately close your book and now try to explain it aloud in your words. Don't worry if you forget. That's actually the point. Every time your brain struggles to remember something without looking, it becomes more stronger. This technique is called active recall, and it is one of the most effective learning methods because it trains your brain to retrieve information instead of simply recognizing it. Now we have learned how to approach each branch of chemistry, but one final question still remains. How do you combine all these methods into one daily routine that you can actually follow without studying for 10 hours every day? That is that is exactly what we are going to build next. Now we'll move towards the chapter 6, the chemistry study routine that actually works. Now let's bring everything together. Imagine two students, both decided to study chemistry for 2 hours. The first student opens the books, read the chapter after chapter, highlights important lines, memorizing definition, closes the book, and proudly says, I studied for 2 hours today. The second student also studied for 2 hours, but here is what he does differently. For the first 10 minutes, he revises yesterday's topic without opening his notes, not to test himself, but to wake up his memory. Then he spends the next 40 minutes learning one concept deeply. Not 3 chapters, not 10 topics, just one concept that he truly understands. Then, without looking at the book, he asks himself, can I explain this to a friend who has never studied chemistry at all? If the answer is no, he doesn't move forward. Because moving forward without understanding is like building the second floor of a house without a strong foundation. After that, he solves question not to count how many he got right, but to discover where he is still making mistake. And finally, he spent the last few minutes writing down only the mistakes in a rough copy he made today. Those mistakes become tomorrow's first revision. This is a cycle: understand, recall, practice, analyze, revise. Simple, practical, and much more effective than reading the same chapter 5 times. Now we'll move towards the chapter 7, the last and the least chapter. The one habit that can change everything. Before we end, I want to leave you with one challenge. Tonight, when you finish studying chemistry, don't immediately close your notebook and move on. Instead, close the book, take a blank sheet of paper and write down everything you can remember. Don't worry about making mistakes. Don't worry about forgetting points. Because the moment you realize what you can't remember, you discover exactly what you need to revise. That one habit can save you hours of ineffective studying. Remember, learning is not measured by how long you looked at the page. It is measured by how much you can remember after closing the book. So next time when you sit down to study chemistry, don't ask yourself, how many hours should I study today? Ask yourself, what will I be able to explain after I close the book? Because that is the question that changes everything. And remember this, average students often measure their effort. Successful students measure their understanding. If this video made you rethink the way you study, then don't let that benefit stop with you. Share it with a friend who always says, I study so much. but I still forgetting everything. And if you learned even one idea that can help you score better, let me know in the comment. Which mistake have you been making until today? Your answer might help another student who is regarding the comment. If you enjoy this video and want more practical science based study technique, subscribe to Hidden Aspirants. And I will leave you with one final thought. One chapter can improve your marks, but one study habit can change your entire academic journey. So, thank you for being focused on the full video, and Dil se thank you to the viewers who are up to the end. And I think the viewers who are up to the end, they are more serious than who skip the video, because now they came to know many things, I will say many things. And if they can apply this in their study habits, then they can also be a topper. Until the next video, don't just study harder, study smarter. And again, Dil se thank you to the viewers who are at the end. And like the video. Thank you guys.